Hey, it's Steve with Raybuck Auto Body Parts. We're looking at the 53 Chevy Pickup pad. Question about the wiring harness location on it. So there's the dash, obviously. What we did was mount the wiring harness right underneath here. So you can see, this is it right here. This cover just pops off. We used more of a sort of a universal wiring kit for this. Did have some problems. The wiring itself was fine. It was just the connectors in this particular fuse panel I did not care for. So I would, if we do this next time, I would use maybe like a Ron Francis or a Painless or something like that. Definitely go with one of those. So anyway, that was the mount though. We just put a little bar, you could sort of see it like right up in there, and mounted that straight across, and then mounted the harness to it. I got the turn signal relay up there, and then put a little bit of wire ties and stuff in there. And then it actually is a lot cleaner than probably what it looks right here. This looks a little bit sloppy, but it's really not that bad. I just didn't finish zip tying everything together. And then right there, we put a hole in the, oh, not right there. That's where all the wires come through, and then they go down into the wire loom, and then right behind the carpet here, there's a little hole that we poked in the firewall, and then it comes out in the front. I'll show you that. Okay, so here's the firewall. There is the hole in the firewall, and that's where all of the wires for the front come through. So they go through there, and then they tuck down in behind the inner fender, again in the wire loom itself, and then they run under the inner fender and then up around the front. So I'll go underneath and show you that. Okay, here's where they come under the inner fender. You can see there's two pieces of wire loom, one that runs down and routes under the body there and goes towards the back. That carries all the wires for like the tail lights, the turn signals and all that stuff into the back. And then this one up here routes along the inner fender and around, and then it connects to the headlights, and then it goes down and across, and it carries all the wiring over for the rest of the lights, turn signals, thermostat, fan control, anything else that was up in the front. Again, there's not a whole lot of wiring in these vehicles. There's no electronics or anything like that, so it's pretty simple. So that is how we routed it. I highly suggest on all of your connectors, I don't know if you could really see them here, I would use the heat shrink connectors versus just a traditional style like crimp connector, because you're going to get a lot of water up in here. I actually used the solder and heat shrink connector on this. So you crimp it, you put your wires in, you crimp it, and then hit it with a heat gun, and it melts the solder, so it connects the two wires. It actually solders the two wires together. And then the sheathing is a heat shrink that will form a seal around each side of the wire. Works really, really well. I highly suggest that for anything on the outside of the vehicle. Heck, even on the inside of the vehicle, but definitely on the outside. For the inside of the vehicle, a lot of times I'll just use the regular crimp and heat shrink. So you just crimp it with a crimp tool and then hit it with a heat gun just to shrink each side of it to keep that connection nice and tight. But out here, definitely the solder and heat shrink ones. That way you're not going to have any problems when you're out driving. So hopefully that helps. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. If you have any other questions, let us know. We'll film more videos of any of the specifics you'd like to see. Thanks for watching.